We're here live at the SL Digital Media Podcast. INC is live. This is R&B. I'm gonna let them just go ahead and take over the mic because it's about four of them anyway. So let them start it now.
No doubt. Yeah, we was, I guess I'll start it off, man. My name is Nick J, man, from INC.
What's good? I'm the gift from INC.
What's going on? I'm Jahi from INC.
Million.
What's happening? I'm back.
Hey,
Boy, Million.
do this one. He there somewhere. He on twice.
I don't have a clue how that happened.
Now look. So one popped off. Are we there yet? Okay. I see everybody now. Okay. So we all live right now. It looks like it. Okay, we good.
Yeah.
So who's first? Let's talk about the journey.
Oh man, the journey.
How did you get started? Where you because everybody don't know the story of your career.
The career of INC, or like you talking about the individual? Like
Individual leading up to INC.
I'm gonna let Herb start that one off because he's the best.
There we go. Let's get it.
These things.
Okay. Well, me, solo, I think I play the piano, write, produce. I was with Eddie Hustle from a young age, probably 19.
Okay.
I was, he kind of taught me how to sing with emotion, because I was real laid back, super laid back. I'm still laid back. That's just how my personality is. That's how I am. But he showed me basically turning on off. I was raw talent. Didn't really know my gift. Didn't really know how to sing with emotion. I had to go. He told me, he said, you're gonna go through something and you're gonna learn how to sing with emotion. But then you're gonna learn how to sing. You won't know how to turn it on and off. Basically, I should be able to do it at the drop of a hat. Sing with emotion, because I'll be able to think back on something that happened and then be able to channel it and sing like that. So it took me a while, but I was doing circus. I did a song with Tyrese. It never came out. It was called "Let's Do It in the Rain."
Yeah.
He was shooting the movie Four Brothers, and me and Eddie went over there in '05. I was young, and then just doing open mics in the city of Philadelphia. I met, and then we sung songs together, and then Nick gave me a call one day last year and was like, "Yo, I got a situation for a group," and I've never really been in a group like that. So I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was skeptical at first.
Yeah.
He was like, I think it's a good situation. So I sat down and I talked with the fellas. I met Melian, I met Jahi, and we sung the first song. We sung Freeway. We recorded it. And it was like magic. Like we've been singing together forever. And I was like, this is something that I need to be doing. And I realized that very early on that it was something special. So
definitely something special. Who's next?
We're gonna put it over the Nick. Since you mentioned Nick 8 billion times.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying?
He got a pocket. I got a little background, man, before the situation popped up, man. I used to sing in a group called No Question back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying? Just before that, man, I just was singing around the city, man, like everybody else from Philly that's singers, man. We just used to travel around the city on the trains, the gallery. You know what I'm saying? That was officially the meetup spot, the gallery. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're on your nighttime tip, we out there in the hood on Hollywood Palace. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
A lot of singers with the stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? and it was just like a whole show, man, of Philly talent just rocking the stages and stuff. That's how I actually met Damon from No Question at the Hollywood Palace. You know what I'm saying?
Damon
And
Molly.
yeah, no, not just Damon Molly, Damon Shakur.
Yeah, Damon
You know
Shakur.
what
Yeah,
I'm
he used
saying?
to hang up there. I remember that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because pretty much they hung with the guys that played in the band, Johnny Croom and Stacy McGee. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Philadelphia is, you know what I'm saying, really great musicians, man, in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, man. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know Michael Spinks owned the Hollywood Palace when you was going up there? The boxer.
I did not know that.
He used to
I
sit in the
didn't know
corner.
that. This is
He
news
used to
to
sit
me.
in the corner. He used to sit right there on the corner. And I used to always like, why is he in here? And because we
Wow.
used to DJ upstairs all the time. Remember, they had an upstairs at the Hollywood Palace.
Yeah, they had it upstairs. I never went upstairs in the
Yeah.
Hollywood Palace.
Man, that joint was a death trap. But anyway, go back.
For one, I was too young to be in the Hollywood Palace.
Okay.
Period. I was at least 16, 17 years old going in the Hollywood Palace. But they was doing music. I was attracted to it. You know what I'm saying? So like from that point on, I'm meeting Damon Shakur and Damon Molly at the time. You know what I'm saying? And Dante used to hang in there. You know what I'm saying? I already knew Dante was my cousin already, so we was already rolling on the street together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And thing with Tommy, I just rolled with them one night. A subway ride. They was already taking a meeting because they already formed the group Blackmail. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
know,
they
I know that whole story on the
oh yeah,
Blackmail. Yeah. So,
most definitely.
yeah, I know the whole story on that.
Yeah, so I took a ride with them to Jersey. It wound up being a whole day just hanging with them, singing on the train on the way up to meeting whoever uptown to get picked up so we can go to Jersey for this meeting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole time singing with them guys, as soon as we get to Jersey, they was like, we was thinking about if you wanted to join, you know what I mean, if you wanted to join our group and stuff. I was like, I'm still grinding. I'm a kid. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course. You know what I'm saying? I never sang with no group like that before.
I
You know what
think
I'm saying?
everybody was a solo artist.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
didn't know.
we bent a little for a group. So
Right.
that's what it was.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. I just like the vibe with people that can sing their behind off. Cause it was dope just being around people that can like blow. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So I
I
know
like
I know it feels
I care
good.
about people.
I
You
know
know what
it
I'm saying?
feels good for all y'all to come together and actually sing. Because you know how
Yeah.
hard that is now? Just to get
Oh man,
2-3 people to sing and actually on key. We talking about on key now.
it's crazy.
You know? Actually on key. Y'all start crying about something.
Yeah,
This cry, But go ahead.
yeah, man. But fast forward, man. I once I joined them, the group Blackmail, the name changed and no question. We caught a vibe together, and we wound up practicing every single day. I mean, every week, every day, practicing. We in the street and on the Johnny Croom was like our musical director at
Man,
the time.
Johnny
So he was
Croom.
like on drill stuff. Yeah, he was on us like some drill stars. I mean, so wait, he had to make sure we get the steps right. Make sure the vocals is strong enough to deliver the vocals and stuff with the dance steps we learned. We got help from Philadelphia. The dancers from Philly, man. How could I forget and everything, man? There was a dance group in Philly. They gonna kill me. The untouchable everything dance group from Philly. From dances, to other clubs and stuff, man, just dancing around. Stuff like that. They got me for choreography and took it from there, man. Like on shows, it helped us when we was touring with Rough End, Jagged Edge, and all these groups that was already established and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We would just be killing the stage, and you know what I'm saying. Plus, we all can sing. I wasn't really too much of a dancer type of person, but yo, I got rhythm, so you know what I'm saying. It's nothing, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah,
the
drink it a
vocals,
two-step.
yeah, you know. Yeah, man. But that was a dope run, man. You know what I'm saying? We sold a lot of records, and you know what I mean, 2.3 million. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the group disbanded. You know what I'm saying? Complications with management, stuff like that, whatever. You know, life went on. I then got with Beanie Siegel on the situations dealing with Jimmy Parker and Carl Patrick. You know what I mean? We created this song,
Yeah.
this track, it's a game with Beanie Siegel and JT. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was like another opportunity, man. You know what I'm saying? I got in, and it's from there. It's been grinding, right? You know what I'm saying? And then finally, I got up with my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Leon. You know what I mean? And he was doing it. So you know what I'm saying? I already knew Leon from back and forth to Philly and everything. I knew Herb already. You know what I'm saying? Jahi, I knew of because I remember them singing in the group together in back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they was already connected. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of our situations right now. Million with the EP, we jump on a song together. It got crazy.
Oh,
You know
there
what
it
I'm
is
saying?
again, Million. There it
Yeah,
is.
yo, it's telling you, you already know how Million get down in the studio.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
You know what's funny? I can't wait
He's
to hear Million's story.
he's
Like 2 days.
he getting his vibe. He's a dope. He's a dope visionary, man. You know what I'm saying? And everything that attracted me to you know, the way how he do things, man. You know what I'm saying? So like we vibed there. The song was dope. Next thing you know, he hit me like you know what I mean. He hit me sometime later and everything. Talk about a group situation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah! I said, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wound up, you know what I'm saying? He got somebody he knew. I got my man Herb and stuff to give because you know what I mean. I was thinking of dynamics because we all could blow.
Yeah.
Million dope with everything he does with the music and stuff, writing and producing the visionary and stuff like that, man. And Herb, the gift, man, and stuff like that, have these crazy talents, man. They're unexplainable with the music, bro, and everything. And I just was like, look, live show, we gonna give you a live show and everything that's gonna be unforgettable, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The vocals, the visions, the music, all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the elements that's gonna hit you in your face and stuff like that, man. And the ladies love it. I'm telling you, this project is dope. It's dope.
Well, I know
I
that song
love it,
"Getaway"
man.
is fire. I heard that. I was like, yo, that joint is fire. Then next thing I know, I saw Nick. Then I saw Million again. I said, oh, they at it again.
Hey, man. Straight up.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to John.
Oh, here we go. It's your
Go ahead.
turn, John.
Oh, well, I mean, basically, me and Melion got the same story because me and Melion known each other for over 15 years. Like
Wow.
I met Melion through a guy that was in a group named Shafi,
Okay.
and me and Melion just clicked. We went on a journey. We moved to Atlanta, Georgia. The name of the group was called Pure Sky. We met Taj from SWV. She signed us.
Okay.
We did the delis. I mean, we did shows, Chicago, Milwaukee. I mean, everywhere. We did a lot of shows.
Not to cut you off, but I think I remember when Million did say to me, it was a while back though, when I was seeing him in the studio about the tires thing. But go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, we did the SWV, you know, the SWV reunited show. We opened up for Chris Brown. We did a lot of things. It just the group just didn't work out. So I kept pushing Melian. We need to find 2 other members. Let's find 2 other members, put another group back together. And he, you know, one day he came down in his truck. We sat outside on the steps, and we was talking about it. He said, "I got you." He said, "Give me a week or 2. I'm gonna come back to Philly, and I got you." And I guess he was in the studio with Nick. He said, "Listen,
Nick was a seasoned veteran, so that was a good choice.
Right. When he told me Nick, I said, "Damn, stop playing, man." He said, "Yeah." He said, he want to be in the group. I said, "We on." He said he got somebody named Herb. I said, "Well, let's meet up. Let's go in the studio." Went in the studio, first night, boom, song was made. It was history from there.
Yeah. That's how it happens, though. And see, I'm quite sure y'all was all eager and ready to do it, because it's all about being ready.
Right.
When you go in there anyway, you know. So y'all probably was cooking. Y'all probably was cooking.
Yeah. But go ahead, Mel. You can finish off the story.
Yeah.
Well, basically, well, at first, I mean, I know me and Scarface definitely. Yeah. Oh man, we music in the game when it comes to music, but I'm not gonna start there. I'm gonna start and say I hate people named Herb.
Who is that moving their hand or something?
Herb, change your name. I don't like the name. No, me, it's crazy how I'm gonna explain that bond between me and Herb too. But it's crazy how growing up in Philly, when you want to, like, when you know you got talent, but you don't know what to do with it, so you just start searching. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we were young. We were all, everybody in INC at one point didn't know where to go, what to do. We were just hungry. You know what I'm saying? So we all grinding in the street with singers. I remember the days at the gallery battling other groups, battling other singers just to get your name. It's kind of like what rappers would do back in the day in Brooklyn somewhere on the street, battling each other. That's what singers used to do in the streets of Philly. We would go down the gallery and be like, "Yo, I bet you my group would kill your group." And then like we have a whole crowd around us going at each other, going song for song. You know what I'm saying? So I remember them. I remember those days. And, you know, so basically coming up as a youngin', you know, I knew I had something. And the studio life is what attracted me first. I knew I can sing. Singing was never really an issue for me. It was just, I had a curiosity for that, for the engineering, for the mixing, and for writing. You know what I'm saying? So I basically, I was singing in groups. Like I was with a bunch of different, you know, groups, you know, as a youngin', but like I got my first deal when I was 20, when I was 22. I just turned 22. I was with I signed with a group called PHI. We put out a record with they actually put out a record on this with Miss Jade called Can You Handle? So like that was my first experience of actually having an actual deal and actually touring with 2 other, it was a 3-man group, and we actually toured and all that, and it really didn't work. And then I went back into the studio, and like Scarfo said, it says I stayed there. I didn't go home. All I did was write.
He went there 8 days a week. He was there 8 days a week, dude.
All I did is
it sounds about right.
That's all I
did.
Did was write. And you know, shouts out to my brother. I miss him so much. Sean Williams, aka Power. He is one of the people who gave me a name when I was like when we was like, so it was multiple studios we would be in, but mainly we would be up in the Northeast. And I wrote for a lot of people. I mean, I got on Paris Hilton records. I got on JoJo records. I got on Chris Brown records. I mean, we sold records to many a person. You know what I'm saying? Like we had, you know, of course, local Philly artists that came in or whatever, you know, for us to write and arrange for. They flew in people, Cali, Portland, Boston. Like we was just writing. We was just knee deep in the writing. And so, of course, like I said, me and Scarfo go back because, man, Scarfo, it was a time where we were both like we were trying to be artists, But we were writing. We were mainly writing, but we were still trying to be artists. So we were both knee deep in the game, like knee deep in the hustle, the grind, like every day hitting it,
Every day.
every single day.
I
So
think you took that torch from me because you went every day.
every single. Now, as far as me and Nick is concerned, me and Nick knew we wasn't homies back in the day. Like it was my man's, like we just knew each other. We knew of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, from the street, from music. Nick told me about some. He's like, yo, when I first heard your music, I heard it on some websites and I didn't even know I was on. You know what I'm saying? My music was floating around places that I didn't even know I was floating around. And I knew, when I first met Nick, it was down at the Hollywood Palace. We was down there singing, trying to, do my thing. They was already on though. He was already on with No Question. And this is right before they started like doing all the big tours. When when they first dropped that I Don't Care.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, well, if these dudes can make it, I know I can make it. So like
you know what, Nick? Remember what I told you before? I'm gonna let him finish, but then I'm gonna tell you how that whole No Question thing actually happened. But go ahead.
Yeah, right.
Finish.
So,
You wait till you hear this.
So basically, I mean, like now when it comes to like, so I knew Nick when we were younger, but we knew of each other and we had a mutual respect for each other. You know what I'm saying? So, but when it comes to, Jaheed, yeah, we've been knowing each other for over 15 years now. Like I was still living in Philly. I don't live in Philly anymore, but I was still living in Philly. And I didn't know Jaheed, and a mutual friend of ours, growing up in music in the street, singing together, whatever the case may be. He gave me a call and said we putting this group together. The group didn't have a name, the group didn't have a direction, it didn't have a mission, nothing. I didn't know Jaheed from a can of paint. He pulls up in front of the studio with this brand new Benz sitting on 22s. I'm like, who is this dude? Like it's just all I knew. You know what I'm saying?
At you.
Like I'm like, okay, who is this dude? And from the moment that we met, we clicked instantly. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how I was introduced to Jaheed, and yet we have been friends and been knee deep together in the game thus far for all this time outside of the people who introduced me to him. So yeah. I've been knowing
you'll find yourself as your journey goes, how you'll be running into all these people. Just like I met the Fugees when they was cutting up in East Orange, because we was signed to Sharif and Adil. Sharif and Adil. Adil is Robert Cool's actual real uncle. So I met M2May through him because Bobby, I think his name was Bobby Johnson. He wrote all them songs for Kool and the Gang. So when we was going up to North Jersey, we was up there with like the Flavor Unit when they was actually in their neighborhood. So it's crazy. We was up there with Colin Davis. Colin Davis at that time, Kenny Lattimore was trying to get in our group. So he went solo, and we ended up doing our own independent thing. But like I said, dude, I'm quite sure everybody got a story where they was in a group with somebody and this, that, the person. I'm quite sure it was crazy for everybody.
It is kind of crazy. You mentioned the names that I did records with. It's crazy, but
well, you stayed in the studio, so eventually you was going to hit it. You're going to hit a lot of people, So
I remember the food. I remember sitting in there with Lauren, with her beautiful, talented self. But that's a whole nother story. So yeah, basically, yeah, me and Jig, we toured. We did the SWV thing. As far as Taj George managing us. We did their reality show when they had their reality. We were on a couple episodes of that. We a massive amount of shows. We worked with Brooke Payne from New Edition as far as for choreography for our group. Dealing with Mike Bibb and all them, and then touring with Taj as they were touring. So we got a big chunk of experience as far as touring with actual named acts. So but. That's how
y'all was on the road with legends. Y'all was on the road with legends.
Well, when I say I don't get starstruck a lot. I just don't, because I done met so many people. But when you meet some of the people, like when you friends with Jazz from Drew Hill, when you sit and you actually singing with some of these dudes that, like back in the day, I bought the actual album on cassette with a Walkman. You know what I'm saying? Like when you actually sitting in when you actually in the room in the studio with these dudes and they saying Melion, what was that note again? Melion, do that. Yo, we need some harmony on the background. Create that bridge. And they actually saying these things to you. It trips you out because again, as a kid growing up, I was a fan first. Now I'm a writer and producer for you. You get what I'm saying? Like it kind of trips you out. Like I was a fan of No Question. I literally bought the album. Not the album that they re-released through Warner. No,
the album was hot.
from
that's back in the day. You gotta remember that's the actual IP.
I was a fan. Like looking up all the shows from Soul Train to all the stuff that I was a fan. So it's crazy how when I got around Taj, you know, when we got around Taj and got around these named acts, I was like, oh, I can't believe we really doing this. And then all of a sudden, like Nick said, you know, fast forward later, I was doing an EP, a self-titled EP, and I was cutting records, and I had this song, and I was like, you know what? Let me make a phone call. And I called Nick, and I was like, yo, Nick, I got this record. Can you come to the studio? Nick was on it. He drove to the studio. The record wasn't even wrote. We wrote the record in the studio. So all I had was the track.
That's the hunger. When
you
know ready. That was 29 years of build up, and then he go with it.
Oh man.
He hit me with the R&B pull up. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like real talk. Like we wrote the record and it went on my EP and it's out right now. Actually, if anybody want to go listen to it, it's on my self-titled Melion EP. That's not the point. So basically. So from there, I called Nick maybe a couple weeks, maybe almost 2.5 weeks later. I said, yo, I got an idea. We should put a group together because right now it's nobody out, not even the old school groups are doing anything. And this is before COVID actually hit. This is before the whole pandemic even came towards the States. But no groups was really making any noise, making any movement. And Nick was like, man, you know what? I'm with that because he was in between projects. He just got done a single he was about to release. He wasn't working on anything new right this particular second. I'm like, he's like, well, who you doing? I said, I got the perfect dude. I'm gonna call my man Jaheed because we've been talking about putting a group together. Then he said, well, I got my man Herb. Now I'm like, first of all, I don't deal with no dudes named Herb, okay? No, he said his name is Roberto. I said, you know what? I'm just messing with you. And he sent me songs. He sent me 3 songs that Herb had cut. I put them damn songs on repeat for a week and a half. All 3 of them. Through the riffs and the runs and all. I'm like, first of all, who is this dude? And how come I never met him? If he from, how is this possible? Right? I met this dude. And it turns out me and Herb ran in the same circles, but yet never met up at the same time. Dealt with the same producers, recorded in the same studios, knew virtually almost the same people writing wise. You know what I'm saying? But never actually met each other. So when we actually sat down and we actually met for the first time in the studio, the day that we cut our first song, which was Freeway, we just instantly, it's like he has. I don't normally say this about other men, but it's like musically he has a beautiful mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not something that he was taught. It was something he was given
from that cloth, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was a studier, so that's where that comes from. You have to study even there. So it's a studier of the real art. Back to Melion.
I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, like his mind musically, as far as you know, being able to play by ear, like to be able to put his hands on the keyboard. I've only seen that like with the Johnny Crooms and with the Rick Williamses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like to be able to just pick up something and just run with it without having to even listen to it, know what you're doing. He just say go and he goes. So it's crazy how that first song, like the fella said, was effortless. And we cut that song, and next thing you know, the group was born. Like INC was born from day one.
Yeah.
And it's been dope ever since. We've been cutting song after song. You know, it's amazing. Like, because normally when you put a situation, Scarfo, you already know, bro. In this business, normally when you put a situation together, it takes some time to develop. It takes some time to develop the group. It takes some time to develop your swag. It takes some time to develop your sound. It normally takes time. With INC, it took a day. Like, who does this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
But y'all gotta remember, y'all were all veterans. Y'all wasn't young trying to come together. Y'all ain't like y'all was what's that group, Immature or something, coming together. Y'all grown men, you know. So
with
I mean, this is INC, man.
Everybody in the group had everybody. That's another thing. I'm sorry, Bill. Everybody in the group has experience in this music industry and in this music game and stuff like that. So we're already bred for this shit. You know what I'm saying? We
y'all
already
know the ins and outs of the whole game.
We do.
Oh yeah.
Whether that can be good or bad.
Exactly.
The
industry loves naive people.
Oh man, I was naive. I was super naive.
If you were super naive, then I know.
Yeah, I was too. I definitely was.
I wrote a lot of songs to play and I didn't take a check.
You get caught up in the fame of it.
Correct.
Man.
And the fame of the game is the draw, is the hook. So you're going to be thinking about crowds. Oh, I'm going to be meeting this person, that person. You feel like you're in that league with them now. So the issue going to be is how much mental capacity can you keep it together before, you know, you go eventually to this one party and you see things you never saw before.
Right.
That was the party. Oh my God, that was the party in California. I went out to Cali for an ASCAP thing, and I ended up at this hotel party with two lifelong friends there. These two Jewish dudes who I met, who I still talk to this day. And you end up at that party and there's cocaine everywhere. It's you go in the bathroom and they having threesomes. Like, yo, you hear about this stuff like, yo, like we all from Philly. So you don't normally show up at a Philly party somewhere and this is going on for real. But when you end up in Cali somewhere and you at an ASCAP event, and next thing you know, the dude from Revenge of the Nerds walk in, you know, the black dude from Revenge of the Nerds walk in, and you got Jamie Foxx in one corner, and then you got a bunch of other, you know, entertainment lawyers on over there, and you got cocaine everywhere. Now, don't get me wrong, Jamie Foxx wasn't doing no cocaine, and he don't do nothing. I ain't see him get down like none of that. So I'm not gonna put on his name, but you got to be ready. Like, I'm standing there and I'm wet behind the ears, bro. When I say I'm I'm 20,
you have to be prepared
and I'm out here by myself and I don't know what's going on. And next thing you know, somebody's saying, "Hey, you want to take a bump?" Like, no, I don't. I know what this is.
You go in that joint, well, you better say, look, I came in with my own water and I'm just walking around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
mess around.
and me and John, he can attest to that too, as far as being in a group together. As far as all the crazy stuff that we had to, you know, bear witness to. You know what I'm saying? But again, this journey with INC, you know, I'm seeing it right now. I'm seeing, you know, all of a sudden people are putting together, you know, groups. And we already, you know, us as men, we already sat back and we talked about it. He's like, man, look, after us, because we're gonna do it the right way. You know, we're doing it the right way. You know, we're doing it. The group is doing it the right way with GT Management. Shouts out to Glory.
Shout out.
You know, putting together LLC. You know, going on paper together as a group contract. You know,
right.
Once people see you do it the right way, next thing you know, I already foreseen it. You know, groups gonna be popping out and, you know, and trying to follow our lead, things of that nature, which is cool. Shouts out to
everything is timing. You know, it's been so much solo stuff that now you just want to hear different flavors on one song without it being a a collaboration. So now if it's a group, it's there already, and then that makes it better anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
Definitely.
But I think INC is ready for the world. And yeah, we see you, Gloria. We live. We live with Scar. What? We live with the R&B OG. Scar. What?
What's up?
Live. Look. I'm gonna tell you this.
I ain't gonna tell you about all the nights. I ain't gonna tell you about all the late nights we in the studio doing hooks. But Scarfo, I'm gonna be quiet.
I kind of told this to Nick a little bit. And I'm gonna tell you how No Question actually got together. Originally, they were called Blackmail. So Damon Shakur at the time was calling me and Sean, and he had a guy named Mike. Mike and Damon started hanging together or whatever, but Vance Johnson was the manager. So Vance the only way he would get Sean to actually show up at Shakur's crib was through me. I would be the only vessel. Like even Mark and Sherman, when they would call for Sean, they would have to talk to me because he wouldn't talk to him. I would have to butter him up just to say, man, just check him out, man, because he got called for the Mario project when it first came out.
Right.
I was talking to the manager. He just hit, he was hitting me up. I was telling Sean ain't want to do it. It was like crazy, dude. Like, but everybody used to come to me. But getting back to No Question, what happened was Damon Shakur hit me up. Then he hit the guy Mike, whoever he was with. So we met over his house because he used to live over on 29th Street somewhere.
Right.
He was around on Hollywood Street. And so we went over there that day, and we had a song that was called Let's Love Again. Now, the song Let's Love Again, we ended up giving it to them with Damon Molly and Damon Shakur.
And rest in peace, Damon Molly, too.
Rest in peace, Damon Molly. And so they came over Brian Williams' house, and we actually did the song already, but we was just giving it to them so they can go ahead and get the deal. Right. So what happened was they were called Blackmail at first. Then they switched it to No Question by the time Nick got there and Tommy got there. So the actual song that got them the deal was the song we wrote, Let's Love Again. It went on a P1 station. I wrote the bridge. Sean wrote the verses, and Brian Williams did the track. And all they did was demo the song. And they actually got 10 weeks on the radio on P1. They had 10 weeks. Let's Love Again was the song that got them the deal. And then after that, I don't know what happened. They started chopping it up, and then Nick and them came in. But originally it was Damon Shakur. He passed away too. Shakur. Molly just passed away. And Mike, I from time to time, Mike hit me up, from that situation. But that's how the actual group got that deal. And of course, y'all went up there and did that showcase. I even met that guy who did the showcase for y'all. I forgot his name, but I met him. And it's funny because I was like, wait a minute, that's Nick. Because every time I think about it, it's Nick or either Tommy. So, No,
it was the MCA. He used to work for MCA Records. This guy, Kurt, something.
Yeah, no.
Everything. He used to hear the Mary J. Blige and stuff.
Yeah. Guy.
I think he passed away too.
No, not him. No.
No, it's the other guy. I'm sorry.
No, not this guy. I met him like about a month and a half ago.
Right.
We were talking, and then I just overheard it. I was like, whoa, that's okay. All you do is say that, you know what I mean? But but it's funny how I never met y'all two. I met you two, but now we see each other. So it's funny how.
That's how I go in the city.
Yeah.
That's how I go in the city. The circle is very the city's so small, man. Everybody knows everybody, cause
everybody.
Straight up.
And it's crazy.
Everybody knows you, or at least somebody know the other person.
Even meeting
Yeah,
Damon,
exactly.
I got
Exactly.
I forgot that Dame actually auditioned to be in No Question when he was trying to revitalize it. This is before Corey went.
Oh,
Dame called me. Dame called me. It was like, yo, I want you to come down. I'm trying to revitalize. I'm trying to put this No Question thing back together.
to my
And
no
that
question
I'm like,
two.
really?
Question two, the second one.
No, it was all right. Nick left. Then they put curly haired dude in the group. I forgot his name.
His name Aaron L. They put Aaron L in the
Yeah,
Oh,
group.
Aaron, okay.
Yeah, that was my young boy. Yeah, that was my young boy.
So he didn't work out, and I don't know the reason what was going on because again, Scorch. Shout out to T Scorch. T Scorch told me about that situation as far as Aaron L is concerned, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call from Dame, and Dame got me in the studio down there with him, like, yo, I'm trying to see if you can be a good fit for No Question. I'm like, huh?
What, Damon Shakur?
Yeah, James Shakur, because I did records
he
with
bang in the studio like you too. Because I remember him.
studio rat. When I say just cut record after record after record,
Yeah,
like I cut about 10 songs with Dame. And I'm not talking about songs on me. Like I came in, like we had a mutual friend, but that's how me and Dame met. We had a mutual friend, producer-wise, was like, yo, I want you to introduce you to Dame for No Question. I'm like, really? For No Question, No Question? He said, yeah, for No Question. He wrote a lot of songs or whatever, dealing with Philly International. I'm like, all right, bet. Next thing you know, I'm being auditioned for the group. Now, it didn't work out with me being in the group. But, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, yeah, it's like all this full circle stuff. People just knowing each other in the city, especially when it comes to Philly, as far as if you really got talent and if you really got a name like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's you're bound to, intertwine and meet and possibly do some music together. Because I did some music with a lot of dudes around the city. A lot of dudes. And shouts out to Kim King, because I was all over that album.
Let me tell you something, though.
Yeah, shout out to Kim King.
Let me tell you something. When I met Million, it was Kim King was in there then. That had to have been about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer. So Kim King had some fire on tape.
Oh, we wrote some stuff.
Because I was doing internet radio at the time, and I was actually playing it because that's when I was doing my own little internet radio. And she sent me like 3 songs. I don't remember them, but they was fire, man. They was fire because I was really representing R&B writers who knew how to write melodic and melody. I wasn't putting it on no. I had this other girl from up in Canada, Lisa Banks, Mary J. Clone, dude, straight clone, and her songs was hot too. So I would only put on hot joints, and it would be real good R&B records. I would get it for like 2 hours, and they would broadcast it from down South Carolina, but it was a web of them, so it was a good look for everybody. People was calling, what was that record? What was that record? I was sending them out. So I've always been a person that been like a vessel to try to help anybody doing this music stuff, because I know how dealing with radio and the music industry, it is, they got their own little sound right now, but I'll be wanting to hear the real music too. Y'all know what real music is, so I ain't got to tell you.
I'll let my team touch on that one, because we all got feelings about that. I'm saying we all got feelings about missing that actual like not just R&B. Like I know INC, we're not just, I mean, yes, you can classify us as an R&B group.
Well, I know you can do them pop records too. I seen you in there. Remember, you ain't never go home.
It's crazy how like Herb can get on the piano and he can create anything. It's crazy how Jig can put his pen and he's an underrated writer, because just because he haven't been in the limelight of writing doesn't mean Jahi hasn't written records. I mean, we wrote song after song after song after song, dealing with that Todd situation when we toured with Kira Scott. But it seemed like the game. It's amazing how the game is missing this real singing, whether it's R&B, gospel is still prospering. Country music is prospering. Pop music is still prospering, but R&B has been suffering. And people keep saying, "Well, we want to hear that R&B, we want to hear that R&B," but it's yet every time somebody trying to bring some new actual R&B to the table, is getting buried.
But I'm gonna tell you the reason why y'all got to go to a band. Don't do no tracks. You've got to get yourself a band, because a band, and you from Philly, so y'all can put something together that's fire right out of this city, because the top people are right in the city. When it comes to bands, I mean, you got Spanky. I know about like 10. I'm quite sure you do more, but and like I said, if you go to the Jay-Z event when he did it with Eminem, that's all Philly. Adam Blackstone and all, they picking Philly people. So we the best. We're the actual best at doing this all the way around the board. If you talk about the R&B and everything, that go back to Gamble and Huff. So technically, all of us are a part of that great moment, because they had a moment for 25, 30 years. So that's actually in you to actually put out. So whatever styles y'all got, you still learned it from Gamble and Huff some kind of way. Somehow you did it. But the band, you gotta put that band together, man. And that band is gonna make y'all look like your song's gonna come to life on a whole nother level.
That's why. That is why I knew what the hell I was thinking when I just thought of certain elements that this group has, man, because all of us got, musical backgrounds and people that's down with us, man. You know what I'm saying? That we know, what I mean? That'll vibe, you know what I mean? And that'll bring this music out and make it come alive, man. You know what I'm saying? Herb got, Herb all day. You know what I'm saying? Alone, just him alone, man. He run into musicians every week. You know what I'm saying? And everything, and this family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
And see, now, by the time y'all get a real show, it's probably gonna be next year. Because the way they got this thing set up, it ain't you can't put nothing together.
Well, actually, right now on the low, in a lot of, and this is what I've been working on. A lot of places around the globe, around the planet, outside of the U.S., that doesn't have at the moment as many restrictions as as America, as the United States are creating. So,
but you can't leave the country. You can't leave the country.
Oh no, you can leave the country. Oh, well,
the United States.
Yeah, you can leave. Now coming back, depending upon where you're coming from, you might not be able to, you're gonna have to, they might try to make you quarantine coming back into the country. You know what I'm saying? But you can leave the United States whenever you get ready to, as long as you got a valid passport, my friend. So and that's one of the reasons why you're not hearing about no live shows. There's no live shows going on in the United States. But a lot of artists, they still need to eat. It's a lot of dudes, especially a lot of these rappers who live these extravagant lifestyles, who was, you right, G, you right, Miss Tally, talent don't lie. But I'm just looking at the comment. It's a lot of did my phone just freeze up?
No, we see you.
I'm tripping. All right, it's a lot of artists, especially especially rappers right now that live extravagant lifestyles that still need to eat. And I was wondering, man, are there still shows going on overseas? And they are. People are still getting paid to come out there, and they are still allowing these events and these shows.
There are certain restrictions somewhere, though.
Oh no, the whole planet has a bunch of places where you can't go, where they're still not allowing shows, but there's still other places that don't have as many restrictions as we do. You know what I'm saying? But you just necessarily might not hear about it, because again, they're not in this country. They're not necessarily being broadcast, via the net, as far as for our eyes to see. You know what I'm saying? But if you again, you can go anywhere in the world. That they ain't stopping you from going anywhere in the world. But in my experience traveling around the country, as far as flying from state to state, There's certain places that you will go that they'll try to quarantine you, but if you don't live in that state, like say for instance, if we go right now to Australia and then come back and they say, well, we need you to quarantine for 14 days. Well, if you don't live in New York, you can't quarantine for 14 days because they can't force you to stay somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, but by law, they have to tell you that you got to do it. So it's not like you can't, travel or nothing like that. You can still, you just got to find those outlets and those venues. It's not that many though, because again, for underground artists, independent artists, it's not that many opportunities. For named artists like the Chris Browns, the Neos, the Bruno Marses, they can still get booked with no problem because they can probably still get pull a draw, pull some fans in for these shows. And then of course, the live streaming, as far as people are actually streaming these live performances with virtual. I've seen a live performance with a very small crowd that was actually there. You know what I'm saying, at the actual performance, and they just streamed it. They probably had no more than like maybe 50 people in the building for the actual show, and then they streamed it live, So it's the game, the game is really hurting right now, but that doesn't no excuses for INC. INC right now, we going.
Now, what's the name of the album?
Well, be honest with you,
it's to be determined right now and everything, man.
We ain't naming it.
We still in the process of creating, this masterpiece that we try to put out to people right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
I can honestly having fun. We actually we are the game going as far as how we are moving. See, normally when cats try to they name out their group start with the case, they go after the deal, we're going after this, we're going after that. We're not necessarily that. We're just having great music, handling our business on the back end, making sure we're positioned to get the bag, but we're making music, and if it sells, it sells. Whatever people love it. We're not playing the game necessarily to try to, get rich or be famous, but it's gonna happen though.
Yeah, well, I'm quite sure. With all y'all being so hungry, it's no telling what y'all gonna come up with because y'all know it's really no R&B out here.
Exactly.
And
you already know.
Vintage R&B, you can forget that. There's not none of that. So
we're doing a lot of concerts soon too.
Oh yeah.
We will have a band, and we're doing a live concert soon. So
you got to do a band, man, because the band is gonna bring it to life.
Talk your ish, Herb. Talk yo. Go ahead, Gift. Let them do it.
It's gonna be a live band with the track, so it's gonna be dope. You'll hear it.
Tell them 2 more times.
It's gonna be dope. It's definitely got a bass player, drummer, all that. And I play the keys. I might probably end up getting my young boy to play, the keys as well.
Yeah. So you sing. So you do both.
I do both, so it's not.
Oh, okay.
But Jahi is sitting in his studio as we speak.
Yes, he is.
So, oh, okay.
He got his mic right behind him.
So don't tell me you million point.
What you say?
You $1.2
million. Listen, Melion the best that ever did it, man. Some nights I fall asleep on him. I'm going to sleep, Mel. I'll see you in the morning.
That dude was in the studio 8 days out of a week.
He a machine.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't know, it's just, I always hope so. When I stop having fun in music, that's when
Well, you know what it is? You love music. So you love the creative part too. So to you, it starts with 0, and then you turn it into this masterpiece. So it's a building. You got all the material, but you don't really know how it's going to turn out. Correct. And then that's what you're doing. You're basically building your songs up, and you just never know where it can go because it can go somewhere else. Or you was master of that, you would take it somewhere else real fast. So I know.
I've always been a fan of showing people that you can't never tell me no when it comes to music, because You know, it's a lot of artists out here that'd be like, well, no, that don't sound right. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then I'll get in the booth with INC, and I'll be like, sick of Herb, and I don't got to tell him nothing. Herb is just he'll go at this melody, and then I'll be like, yo, Nick, go up top. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to tell him nothing. You know, I'm like, yo, Jig, give me that bass, bro. I don't got to tell him nothing. You know, when you got guys around you that you got other builders, other architects around you.
Oh,
that literally makes it easy for you to build this record. You know what I'm saying? That's where the fun part comes in. Now I ain't gonna front. It was a lot of days that we were in the studio and we had a singer in there and they sound like a wet napkin, and you got to try to turn that wet napkin into a record.
Like, oh no, that's when you turn up all the auto tune. You turn up all the auto tune.
Yo, some days I had to go borrow some auto tune from another program. Just
no. In other words, that wasn't even enough.
Easy.
Yeah, like it be days. It be like, I love music. I mean, like, I think we all, don't get wrong, not just me, but the rest of my team. You know, we love music so much. We do it day and night. It's like I'll be behind, like, you know, they'll be like, well, Herb stays up with me. I'm sorry, I can't speak for Nick and Jigga, because y'all always falling asleep on us. Like Herbie sitting right next to me, and Herbie like, yo, what you hear? All right, bet I got the harmony. All right, bet I got this fifth right here. And Nick and Jig be on.
Listen, I love the studio, man. But damn, bro, like, yo, this Nick, I'm sorry, this brother, he could just be. He just be.
By the way, that was the first cuss word.
Night long, like, damn, like, I mean, perfection is like crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing.
It's amazing. Like, real talk, Herb is sitting right next to me, like right there, right? He'd be like, yo, Mel, what you hear? What you hear? All right, bet I got this note. And you turn around and Nick and Jig head to head.
Right. Funny part is Nick will wake up. He like, yo, wake up, he gotta do a note. He will wake up and hit a note like he was never asleep. Like, go to sleep and just kill and go right back to sleep. Like,
it's amazing. Now this is the point. This is the point where Johnny get pissed at you. It be in between 2:30 and 4. Now you look at it's like, come on, Mel. Hey, Mel, come on. How many notes we got? Mel. Yo, Mel.
Because I know Million always hearing something.
always.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't hear
that? Hey, Scarfo, hey, look here, man. Like I said, it's man, I remember the days we sat in the studio, and we see, me and Scarfo, when we first met, we would go back and forth, note for note. Like, it'd be funny how competitive we was, because I would say something and he'd be like, all right, that was cool, but I got a better note for that. I was, all right, that's cool, I got a better note for that. Like, so until we got that mutual respect for each other, because we both had actual talent. We can actually write, we can actually arrange.
Yeah,
and a lot of cats in the city, just like how Herb can play by ear, right? He can actually play by ear. Like, don't need sheet music, put his hands on that keyboard and just go. See, I can't play the keyboard to save my life. No pianos, no keyboard.
That's a gift too. Remember
Yeah.
I can't play, but yet somehow in my brain I can hear this harmony, and I don't understand how. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I can hear chords. So it's crazy how, you know, when INC get in the booth, we come in from nothing. All we got is a track, and they might have a concept for a song, and next thing you know, Getaway is popping off, Freeway popping off, Come Over popping off. You know what I'm saying? Can You Hear It popping off? Like, oh, sorry, that's the name of our records, people, if you don't know. This EP.
We got some stuff.
I'm quite sure y'all probably got like 30 songs cut by now.
We got some.
All that build up.
Yeah.
Hey, Jahi. Tell our ladies what we got, bro. I'm just gonna leave it.
Man. baby making songs. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
We gonna have y'all do some quarantine kids.
quarantine love.
Bringing it back, man. R&B.
Well, look, the
Yeah,
winter time is coming, so it's you know, remember we almost at September, so we got about another month and a half, and the temperature may hit 60.
That's why we slow walking this thing. We got salt. We got salt.
Gotta slow it down. Cuddle
Already.
season coming.
Hey, next thing you know, but you might get a little Valentine's Day EP or something from
Yep.
INC.
Well, actually, by
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, we should be pretty cool, and y'all should have everything locked in. Probably
Oh,
you should
yeah.
have our third video by that time, and then you could just hit the
Oh,
road.
Already.
That's like
Oh, yeah.
February, March. I'm quite sure they're gonna come up with something. You know, I'm not taking the vaccine, but I'll catch y'all on that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be. We gonna be. This EP is going to be a long time coming. I would say that.
Okay.
A long time coming.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's good. It's good to hear from y'all guys. You know, y'all got two other guys I just met tonight. You know,
For sure.
I'm looking forward to the INC
yes.
musicgroup.com. I see it down there. Management, Gloria Talley.
Check it out.
Got Nick, Million, Herb, and T, right? Did I get it right?
Jahi,
Jahi.
I got it rhymed a little bit, you know what I mean? So we're gonna wrap it up. You know, y'all can just send out y'all you know, Facebook and stuff like this. And remember, just all you gotta do is just share it off my page. And y'all, you know, you see the interaction I would have had if they would have comments. So that's what I was trying to tell you. But you can just share it, and you know, if all y'all share it, hey, look, I'm gonna put it on you. So I'll send you a YouTube video too.
what we gonna do is before we the show, and you know we gonna give you another perspective, another interview, letting everybody know what's going on with the next single we drop. And of course, you see the INC Music Group time.
Y'all just let me know when. Y'all just let me know when. Look, I stand for the singers. I'm glad I see 1, 2, 3, 4 more singers. You know what I'm saying? So especially, you know, and we not females, we males. So, you know, I'm with all that, you know. So y'all guys go ahead and continue y'all success. Keep the music going, keep pumping it out. I already know Million don't go home, so I already know y'all gonna have 95 songs by the end of the year.
Hey, man.
I'm in the crib right now, bro. So what? I got a studio in the crib. That's not the point, though. I'm in the crib.
Man. Oh, now it's in his crib now. Oh, it's gonna be trouble. Like,
Shout out to you, bro, for having us on, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, big shout out, man. Appreciate it, Scarfo.
Thank you so much. A lifelong friend right here, man. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't get it. Lifelong friend.
Y'all go ahead. Success.
Appreciate it.